All right, and we're back for episode 4 of Twin Mirror, episode 6 of Twin Mirror, starting right now.
It doesn't make any sense. None of it does. Why would Declan do that? He was always a stand-up cop. Now he's a crime boss?
No time to think about it. Right now, we need to get to that dead drop. Nick probably gathered enough evidence to reveal what Declan was up to. Our word against his won't cut it. That stick is the only way we'll take him down.
Or maybe you could just stay out of this? Declan's trying to save his skin. If you go against him on that promontory, he'll be trapped in a corner. This isn't a game. This isn't a puzzle.
No one else is gonna die.
You can't promise that. It's unfair to think you can. You don't know what's gonna happen. I don't either. But we're the only ones who could possibly bring some closure to these murders. Just control yourself, okay? The fire worked, but people could have gotten hurt. Sam, I know it's been a rough day, but you're freaking me out. Stop zoning out. We're just about there, and I need you to help me figure out our next steps.
Next steps? At a place where someone might put a bullet through your head. No, that's too dramatic. It'll probably be something quiet, simple. Make it look like you killed yourself. Took too many pills. Who'd question that? You're not thinking clearly.
What are you looking at?
You're focused on finding the facts and not focused on the very real dangers.
You need to focus on the road, not on whatever daydream you're lost in.
Just stop. You're the one that needs to stop.
Sam, you're going too fast. You need to stop.
Leave me alone. Stop it. Sam,
Sam,
stop!
There's a turret!
Stop!
Stop! Sam, stop! Stop! Stop the car! Sam, are you okay? You nearly got us killed.
I need a moment.
Take your moment, but make it quick. We're already at the promontory. We need to find that dead drop before Declan gets here.
We need to talk. Yes, Sam, it's time. What's happening? Sam, I can't. Where are you going? Get back here. I'm trying, but it's not working. No! No! Losing control of my own mind. Where are you? Can you hear me?
I really want to talk.
Can you even hear me? Fine. I'll come to you.
I really want to talk about why I chose to listen to him, but
I have a feeling I'm not gonna like this. Okay, do not freak out. You've been through this before.
okay. Well, you know, maybe you have. Well, wait, what if I go this way? There's just another exit back here.
Stick to the fundamentals. Breathe. Focus. You can make it out.
Okay, well, the fundamentals are
It
of a
still
maze.
keeps going. It feels like I'm trapped in a maze. Question is, where does it lead?
What we're gonna do is we're just gonna keep making left turns. Here we don't call 911.
I wish there'd been another way.
Of course, this is probably some, like, non-Euclidean maze where this isn't gonna work.
Remember the facts, Sam. That's how you'll get through this.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I'd just be able to walk through this. Maybe it would have just disintegrated at my touch, but not yet anyway. So the reason, just super quickly, the reason that I chose listen to him is that I'm starting to suspect that not allowing Sam to indulge in conversation with glasses is unhealthy for him.
There you are. You and I need to talk. What? What's happening?
Okay, I can't actually go any further in here. Okay. Okay, has anything changed here is what I'm looking for. Not yet. Okay, so let's oh wait, there's another way.
I'm losing control of my own mind again. I'm almost making it a habit.
She doesn't do anything, just sits around, takes her vacuum pills, and stares at the TV like a lump.
At least I'm not being chased this time. Right? Wonder what's in store for me now.
Probably a chase sequence with Sam's luck. Okay, so I don't actually have a super good strategy for this because I guess we can try to memorize the markings on the wall. So this one here, we're going to start, we're going to go into the left door underneath the big V. Okay. So the big V is there, but it was not the left door that disappeared. So let's go under the left door on the big V. Okay, there are fewer doors now. And there's the big V. Let's go under the left door under the big V.
Always tackle a problem head on. Of course.
Well, we're down to one door. It's the left door underneath the big V. So far this is working out well.
There's no running away from it.
Okay. So far, just, you know, sticking with our, we're going to follow the left wall has been working out pretty well. I don't feel like I've missed anything. I could be wrong. Okay, well, here's way, but I might want to take a look around in here first. Let me look around in here first. Oh, there's another way. Okay, then I'm not going to look around. Do we care what these papers are? What do these say? Details of investigation. Oh, God, if only we could zoom in just slightly. Car, something against a tree. Car found against a tree, surrounded by debris. Okay, it just looks like copies of the police report. All right, we will try way. Oh, man.
It can, but it does give me less patience for people who sling mud my way.
Poor Dennis. We could barely stand him. And he could barely stand himself. Okay, so here's the staff picture. Is there anything here for us to pick up on? Is it because Sam is in it, and Anne is holding what appears to be a smoothie of some kind? I'm trying to make out if that's an award, but it looks like she's holding up like her drink. Okay, that's fine. Oh, what does this say? Nothing. I've also started to suspect, what if Sam did do it? What if he did murder Dennis? It doesn't feel like it makes a lot of sense right now, given the fact that he had just arrived back in town, but he was blacked out, and as we can see, he's not... He's experiencing these schisms, these fugue states that separate him from, like, active control of his mind.
I don't need that right now.
That's not to say that anybody who is experiencing some sort of mental illness is
Just give me a break.
prone towards violence, but there's also signs that Sam might have like a, and I may not use the correct
I give up.
phrase here, because it's not called multiple personality disorder anymore, but I'm trying to remember what it is called. Dissociative personality disorder? Maybe that's it?
You think you know who Nick was? Mr. Perfect? Give me a break. You have no idea. No one in this town does.
I'm just open to considering the possibility that if one of the themes that Sam is experiencing is that he is... Now, hold on a second. How did I do this wrong? Or did this change? I could have sworn I was going down the left paths. I didn't see a big clock here. This may have changed around me, or I really messed up.
You know, Nick and I had moved in together. Started to get serious.
They both deserve to be happy.
What is that a ticket for there in the background? It's like the largest item here. Is that the concert ticket? The placeholders. Yep. Okay. Well, I guess I'll head this way. I don't think it makes very much sense for Sam to have done it, but I'm at least open to the possibility. A turtle? Is this a floating turtle?
Your mother told me what happened. I know she's always pushing you to make friends.
Yeah.
Well, she's just afraid you'll end up alone. She doesn't want you to be unhappy.
Is she happy?
Not always. I'm not always happy either. Being happy isn't everything. I'd say it's more important to find out who you want to be than to be happy. Here, I brought you something.
It's so clear. I can see it all at once.
That's what gives it strength. It has nothing to hide. It can see itself for what it really is. And that lets it see everything. It's not a flaw. It's a gift. Like a superpower, you know? When the world is a storm, you stand calm at the center.
No. I need to have a real talk with myself. Where are you?
Oh, also, sorry, maybe this is obvious, but who was that who appeared to be talking to Dream
Sam,
Joan?
come with me.
because it looked like somewhat bearded Sam, but it didn't sound like him, and it didn't sound like glasses to me.
Which one are you?
Sam? Sam! 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 Sam, where are you?
I was waiting to see if maybe one of them left ripples and the others don't or something.
Sam, where are you?
It feels like, it feels like in a case like this, maybe the most reliable thing would be to wait for him to come to me. Or are we supposed to run down these stragglers?
Sam! 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 Come with me! Sam, where are you? Sam! Follow me!
Okay, well this one isn't disappearing, so I'm gonna follow him for a while.
Sam, come with me!
Okay, I can't even begin to imagine what these scenes are telling us. So we'll go to the one on the left. Oh, is this... Okay, so this is Sam proposing to Anna while Glasses
Sam,
looks
put
on.
that away. Come on. I don't want a ring. I don't need a ring.
Quick, toss the ring. Make a joke. If you don't manage to save face, it's over. Listen to her. Sometimes there's not a right thing to say. Tell her you want this. Be forward. She'll reconsider. If you don't, it's over.
No, if you insist on pushing it's okay for Sam to want to get married. It's not okay for him to continue trying to pressure Anna to get married if she's already established that she doesn't want to do that. Trying to persuade her into a level of relationship that she's not comfortable with, if she's ever gonna come to that, she will come to it on her own, and pressuring her by like doing this whole proposal thing after she specifically said don't do that, bad idea.
Sam, put that away. Come on. I don't want a ring. I don't need a ring.
Okay, what was this one?
Listen to her. Sometimes there's not a right thing to say.
I like that one most.
I thought that's what we were supposed to do. I'm sorry, I just wanted to fix things.
Sam, did you really think doing something neither of us wanted would fix anything?
If getting married is important to Sam and not getting married is important to Anna, in my opinion, Sam either needs to make peace with that, or what seems to have happened, understand that this relationship is just not going to be for
Don't leave me, Lee.
him.
I don't have a lot of friends. No one at school talks to me, and you promised. Don't leave me, Lee. I don't have a lot of
Oh,
friends.
sorry.
No one at school talks to me, and you promised.
Apologize. She's a kid, Sam. She wouldn't get it. Just say you're really sorry.
No, I don't like that.
Promise her that you'll be back. She'll like that.
But he didn't intend to ever come back. I don't like that either.
Explain yourself to her. Or try to. As best you can. She deserves that.
Okay, yeah. It can be really difficult to understand if somebody important in your life needs to go. Because even if it doesn't have anything to do with you, which is what Sam is going through here, from Joan's point of view, she is losing somebody that's very important to her, and it hurts that she's not important enough to Sam for him to reconsider his decision to leave. Nonetheless, for Sam, there's a lot of other factors at play, and for his own stability and happiness and recovery from whatever he's going through with this breakup, he needs to do what's best for him. It's a situation where nobody is in a good place.
It's not you, Bug. It's this town. It's Anna. It hurts and I can't stay.
None of that is my fault.
I know, but I still have to go.
It's not fair. I understand, but it's not fair. I guess you finally win for once.
Sorry, I'm not trying to, like, jerk it up and down.
You're leaving town just like that. Not even an explanation for an old friend.
I'm super glad we went from left to right.
Tell him the reasons. Give him a few and he'll be fine.
Okay, that's not bad.
He cares. Tell him how much you hurt.
I like that one better. Like, especially if you're leaving, why not be open?
Apologize. He wants to know it's not his fault. Maybe tell him you'll call.
That one's not bad, except as far as we can tell, Sam didn't call. He never intended to call. Let me just double check this is the one I want.
He cares. Tell him how much you hurt.
Yeah.
Everyone in town hates me. I think Anna hates me. I think I hate me. I have to get away from this place or I'm gonna die here. Inside at least.
I get it. Just know I've always got your back, no matter where you go.
If someone's your friend... Hold on.
About it, but he's your son.
I know the real you is here. The rest are just illusions. I have to focus.
I can't move forward or backward. Let's check. So let's think about it. He's sort of curled up by himself. He's sitting in a contemplative pose, I would say maybe a meditative pose at the foot of a very small bed, looking through a telescope and talking to himself. Well, I mean, we were rewarded last time for going from left to right, I feel, so... Oh, wait. Do I not have any more information to make this decision? Well, if I can only choose one, I think this one. Unless it's all of them?
There's only one of you. I can't just choose them all. Think. Focus.
Okay. See, the thing is, when I select this, like, nothing else happens. There's no dialogue, there's no introspection. Oh, wait. Wait, only one of them has a reflection. That's what it is. Only one of them has a reflection.
They just want to put useless labels on it.
Okay, this one's reflection is doing something different. Something different. The same thing, I think. Something different. Right. And the reflection down there, one is looking down, and this one's looking up. So this is the one that is the real one. Okay, one of them beckoning. That one's beckoning. That one's beckoning, and also does appear to have an accurate reflection. ditto here. Oh, wait, no, look at the animation. It's different. Okay, hold on. That one just crossed his arms. Okay, so it's got to be this one. Let's just watch for a second. Make sure the reflection doesn't do anything that the one on top doesn't do. I feel like we're good. Are we really not? No? Okay. A reflection just freaked out. Okay. I guess we'll watch this one again. Or, no, sorry. We're going to watch this one for the first time. We have not looked at this one before. Nope. Okay. Not right. Boy, did I mess up on the one that I thought crossed his arms for a second? This one's in sync. I feel like this is perfectly in sync. Let's try it. Okay, we've remembered a good chunk of a room. Can't remember what we put up on the walls, though. Or if there were walls. It's the worst Sims 2 mod.
I know you don't want to talk about it, but he's your son.
I said this conversation was over.
He's not having a good time at school. He has trouble socializing.
What does that even mean? He's having some trouble making friends, that's all.
He's always talking to himself, to his imaginary friend.
I had one at his age.
Yet you had real friends. He talks to himself more than he talks to other people. You should consider what the one teacher mentioned.
He doesn't need remedial classes. They just want to put useless labels on him.
They're not remedial. They're programs meant to help him with his social skills. It could be good for him.
My son is not going to be in some dunce class.
You were there when no one else was. And you've been there every step I've taken since. I'm ready.
I think a lot about episode 1 where Sam lamented, why can't the entire world be as well organized as the inside of my own mind? Good looking water.
Hey. Hey. It's been a long road. I think it was always coming here. You know? You've opened yourself up a lot more than I expected. Especially to Joan and Anna. You're finally back on the right path? I believe some of the credit is mine. I'm doing my best with what I have. I'd say we've had a good thing going. It was tough, But you made compromises. You adapted to other people. Wasn't it nice to feel accepted?
Have we felt accepted at some point? Is that what chapter was that? I don't know what stop pretending is. It didn't always feel like me. I'm gonna go with stop pretending because I know less about what that means.
You always make it sound like you care, but all you want is to change me. But the two halves of your world, they don't mix. There's Sam, the well-adjusted human, and there's Sam, the depressed, truth-obsessed misanthrope, who doesn't realize objective reality is a subjective myth. I'll tell you what the truth is. To be happy, sometimes you need to focus on people and not things. You make it sound so easy. I'm not sure I'm ready to let it go. It'll take a lot of work, but we can get you there. No one can enjoy life when they've got the weight of the world on their shoulders. What about the world? Everything has a price. Look, you've been helping me for a long time. Even today, without you, I would still be lost in my own head, in my own panic. Well, technically, that's kind of the case right now. Still, I'll take the compliment. But we both know I can't be split in two directions. I have to pick a track. Go along with me. Be a part of society. Be happy. Let things go. Accept the expectations of others. Stop pretending you're someone else. Or keep looking for a truth that may not exist and leave everyone else behind. But seeing the world for what it is, being able to make a difference, no matter the consequences. It's time. Two roads, and you can only take one.
Okay. I'll take absolutely false dichotomies for 500, Alex. The fuck are you talking about? But, okay, so rather than complain about the idea that not that the only two options, but that the idea of connecting with people or pursuing the truth are diametrically opposed ideas that cannot coexist, maybe we'll just say that they cannot coexist for Sam, and what do we think is best? That's tough for me to say, because this whole idea seems so false. But okay, so I'm also just trying to think, how does any of this relate to what we know about Sam's relationships? Sam is a reporter. Sam went looking for truth at the mine. He published a news article accurately reporting about safety violations at the mine, and he got the mine shut down, and a lot of people got put out of work. That is disappointing, infuriating, endangering to people that were reliant on that income. But the mine itself was also dangerous, and as we've heard other people say, the mine was going to be shut down in a couple years no matter what. All Sam did was hasten that. Did that still hurt the people that were reliant on that paycheck? Yes, it did. I don't think that I feel... it's not that I don't feel bad about it, but the mine was dangerous, and the people that worked there were in danger, and Anna's father, Joe, lost the use of his legs in an accident that, if I'm picked up the pieces properly, happened at the mine. So it needed to happen. Sam's not the one that made the mine unsafe. That stemmed from a series of decisions, probably cost-saving decisions, that they made. So I'm not going to feel bad about that. After that, he was a pariah around town. I understand that. That can hurt. But what Sam did was show everybody the truth that they weren't necessarily ready to see. And if their response to that is anger that they didn't get to live in their very dangerous ignorance, and I mean ignorance in the truest dictionary sense of just not knowing that there was a problem, And no, now you've shown us that there's a problem, and now we lost our jobs, which is a bigger problem than the hypothetical harm. I don't know. It wasn't hypothetical harm to Joe, right? So, like, what are the lessons that Sam would have pulled from this? He would have pulled that he has to go his own way and to not worry about what other people think about him. When he did care about what other people thought about him, when he felt like he lost his connections to Anna in particular, he left. He went home to Connecticut, and he said to somebody early on that, or a while ago, yeah, it was to Walter, if I remember correctly. I think this was like episode 1. Every day just blurs into the next. There's nothing for me. He's just like stewing around in his own mind, lost and alone. Maybe he can't cut himself off. And then there's the wording on this screen. Choose him, glasses, or choose the Mind Palace. I don't like the Mind Palace. I don't like it. Maybe this is just, maybe I'm projecting too much of myself into this, but the idea of becoming lost inside the warrens of your own mind, it's like, I feel like you can always choose to be alone later if you want to. If you try connecting with people and you realize that you're not happy there, you can always excise people out of your life. There's always options to obliterate the relationships that you have. Building those relationships, that's the really hard part. And it just, I don't think that human beings are often built, there's exceptions to every rule, but I think in general, people are social creatures that rely on interaction with others for intellectual and emotional support. I think I'm gonna go with him. This is me really thinking about this in real time, trying to figure out like what's best. And Sam was so hurt when he wasn't able to get married to Anna, when that relationship fell apart, when he went home, and the thing that he said to Walter about every day just blurring into the next with no meaning, no progress, no form or function. I feel like he is lost without the human connections of other people, and that's why I'm going to choose him.
I sacrificed so much effort just to make myself miserable. I've had enough. You just have to care more about the people around you and less about everything else. I know. I'm ready. It's not going to be easy, but you and I, we're going to get there together.
And it's just literally bones.
Anna probably went off after what Dickie left up here. You can't let her be out there alone. I know, but it needed to be taken care of. I concur. Hurry, Sam. No cell reception. If anything happens, we're on our own.
I have to assume that the correct, that we're going out into the promontory. Boy, this is dark. This is super dark.
Declan could be here already. I should be careful.
I have a question about... So, Sam was just in a full dissociative blackout and Anna just left him behind the wheel of the car? Were the keys still in the car? Did she leave him with the keys in the ignition? I know they're his keys, or at least I take that to be his car, but... Wow. That's really beautiful. It looks like a painting. It's a really nice painting.
Falling off is the least of my worries right now.
Finally pull yourself out of your daze long enough to join me. I was worried about you.
I know. I had a bit of a panic attack. I'm really sorry I put us in danger. That's over now. I'm in the here and now, 100%.
All right. Glad to have you.
I don't usually pause during scenes, but this has been occurring to me, especially in this episode. One of the interesting things that this game is doing, and I'm not even sure if it's entirely purposeful, like this was one of the things, but it's that Anna just has no idea what Sam is going through. And that's not a judgment against her. He's not communicating to her at all what he's going through. And it's just an interesting glimpse of what it's like to be experiencing some sort of mental illness, some sort of like mental or emotional breakdown, and the people around you just like, they don't get it. I don't think that she's being flippant or cruel when she says, oh, you snapped yourself out of your daze. I don't think that it's intended to be that way, maybe, but she doesn't seem like that type. I think that she doesn't have the language to understand that he's really suffering and really going through something and may have had a breakthrough, but all of that is happening internally. We've just gone through it with Sam, but she hasn't. And all she knows is that she was in the car, he started acting increasingly erratically and like just borderline went to sleep. That's all that she saw. So she can't sympathize with him because he's not opening up to her at all about what it was. I just think that it's interesting. It feels like one of the things that the game is maybe intended to do, but I feel like approaching actually doing is trying to put you into the position of grappling with a mental problem and to have the people around you just incapable of understanding that and being supportive of you. We'll see how it unfolds, but I think that's notable, especially in this episode.
So I guess this could be all of this madness coming to a close, right? Hopefully in the good way. Maybe we can bring Nick and Dennis some justice. I'm ready to see it end.
Anna, whatever happens, I'm really glad someone's here with me.
Sam, we can get all sappy once this is all over. Now we need those files. I can't find them anywhere. Did Dickie say where the dead drop was?
He didn't. We'll have to keep looking for it. Did you already go through that side?
I've been looking everywhere. So far, all I've found is a lot of gum under tables. Declan could be here any minute. Let's hurry it up.
Also, just heads up, Declan has, as far as we know, murdered already to keep these secrets.
The dead drop doesn't seem to be here. Too exposed.
Oh, what about the food locker? Remember that?
This would be the classic choice, but no. Nothing. A precarious path out into the dark. Not a bad metaphor for my life right now.
Yeah, food locker. Is this it? Hold on. It would be hilarious if the first idea that I had was it. Inside the bear.
Rotten food. Probably too gross even for someone like Dickie. Nowhere to hide a USB stick here.
Oh, hold on. It's right there.
Found it.
Okay, let's leave.
You did? Let me see.
No, let's leave.
With this, we'll be able to put Declan behind bars and clear your name. Come on.
Hold it there, boss.
Declan.
Now, you two just relax. We're here for the same reason. Now all you have to do is give me what you found in that there lockbox.
You... How could you look everyone in the eye and lie to them? You went to his wake. You drank with his friends.
Yeah, it was harder than you think.
So what happens once you have the stick?
Still thinking about that.
You plan to kill us like Nick?
Don't start thinking I enjoyed doing it. It just had to be done. It was just the same as with that drunk fool Dennis. All I wanted was to see how much he knew and get him to keep his mouth shut. Turns out he knew more than he should have.
It doesn't have to end the same way this time. There's always another option.
Almost sounds like you wising up some, Higgs. Doesn't look like you're willing to take the same fall from 2 years ago. Fuck that common good shit, right?
You always seem to care about this town. Its history, its people. Why do this?
I care more about this town than anyone. I've spent my whole life protecting it. Everybody's happy to shake my hand and say how grateful they are. But as soon as you turn around, they'll stab you in the back. Eventually, I realized that's how people are. The only thing left is to adapt. Help keep a lid on things. And if someone's got a profit, might as well be me. Nick and Dennis, that part wasn't supposed to happen. But here we are. And I'm done leaving behind loose ends.
Anna's gonna try something. I think enough people are dead, Declan. Think about what you're doing. Is this what you want? You killed Nick. You killed Dennis. You're running the drug ring in Basswood.
If only you could have left it at that. But you had to poke around again. Now I have 2 witnesses to deal with, thanks to you.
This is bad. Be careful. Every word will count from now on. You have to lower his guard long enough for you and Anna to gain the upper hand. It's gonna be hard, but remember, I'm with you. Every word of the way.
Tell me exactly why I shouldn't kill both of you right here.
Fuck it, ask him.
Keep your cool. He's not gonna shoot if he thinks he has better options. Otherwise, he already would have.
I was actually thinking the same thing. Specifically, he could just shoot us and take the USB key, if that's what he was planning. He doesn't, you know, he's not going to hit the USB key with his bullet, nor are we going to have time to throw it over the edge. So, it's not who you are, it's not in your interest.
Killing us is not in your best interest, Declan. The more bodies you leave behind, the harder it'll be to hide them.
It's a good point. But at least bodies don't talk. Look, I don't want to do this, but I promise. It ain't personal.
Don't delude yourself. Nothing is more personal than this. And you won't do it.
What makes you think that? Seen into my soul?
He would rat you out. The murders won't go unnoticed. You don't have to kill us. The murders won't go unnoticed.
3 people gunned down the same day is bound to attract attention. You're a cop, Declan. You know the next strangers in town will be the feds.
I could make you disappear. Ditch your corpses somewhere. No one would know.
Come on, Declan. We talk to people. Followed leads. And if we just go missing, Walter, Bess, people who know us will ask questions.
You seem to think you could just walk away. Go ahead. Tell me how that happens.
He's not going to want to turn himself in. Oh, buy our silence. I like that. I love that. That implies we're as corrupt as he is. Take the evidence and go. He'd never buy that. He'd never buy that. Buy our silence.
Buy us, then. Your drug money for our silence.
Samuel Higgs asking for a bribe. That's very interesting.
It's an insurance policy. If we participate, we become criminals as well. We won't be able to turn on you without ruining our own reputations.
Why should I trust you? You're you. You care about stories, not people. You published that article that sank the whole town, leaving saps like me to clean it up. If I let you go, Who's to say it won't be the same thing all over again?
I won't make the same mistake is really good.
I told the inconvenient truth once, and it destroyed my life. It destroyed a lot of lives. I won't make that mistake again.
Learned your lesson, huh? I'm not so sure, Sam. I bet you're the one that tipped the police off about Dennis's body.
Shit.
Even though that meant painting a huge target on your back, I made sure of that. But killing you's more trouble than it's worth. You're right about that. So how about you just hand over the evidence, Anna? Nice and easy.
It all comes down to this, Sam. Anna's about to jump him. Keep his attention on you.
Anna, get him. No, that turns the attention to her. This is better for everyone.
It's better for everyone this way. You win, Declan.
Good call. I expect you two to keep your end of the bargain.
You asshole!
Go, Sam! 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 Sam!
Not exactly what I had in mind.
Hello? A woman has been shot. I need an ambulance. Just hurry!
Pressure on the wound. Pressure on the wound. I need to stop yelling at video game
good.
characters when
Stay
they don't
with me. You have to stay with me.
practice good first aid.
I'm fine. Don't worry.
Anna, Anna, please.
Carrie James at 104.3 WVCK, the Basswood Sound. You heard the news today? The local cop who died in that fatal shooting last week is apparently the head of a small opioid ring right here in Basswood. Crazy. It's believed he used his position to bring in drugs from all over the county and that he murdered 2 people in an attempted cover-up. Good news, however, the journalist who was wounded while confronting the rogue cop was released from the hospital today.
Wait, did Anna not make it? No, because he murdered 2 people.
Nice to see you up and about.
Him again? He really wants to be a part of this community, doesn't he? Wait, scratch that. He really wants to look like he's part of this community.
I'm just letting you know Hugh was Declan's supplier. I've had my eye on Hugh for a while. Where was Declan getting the drugs from? Anyway, let's see. Are you and Anna close? Wait, this is not Anna's funeral. Like, he murdered 2 people, not 3. Two would be Nick and Dennis. So I'm just saying, why are we asking about Anna? Because this is not her funeral. It's been a rough week.
Can't say it's been the best week of my life. Maybe one of the worst, actually.
I can't even imagine. You and Anna endured what no one should ever endure. Which is why I felt it was my duty to come wish her my best. Lots of well-wishers. Kathy, Walter, Bess. Makes me feel a touch like a ghoul.
Well, sometimes it's what it takes to be part of the community. I know how it feels to be outside looking in.
Very astute. Putting down roots is a rather active process.
How's Kathy? She doing okay? She's been going through some hard times lately.
I've noticed. I'm thinking of giving her some paid time off. That way she can focus on her daughter.
That's very generous of you.
Nah, I'm just trying to do my part. Besides, the pharmacy just wouldn't be what it is without Kathy. I feel so selfish keeping you away from everyone. I'm sure Anna is waiting for you. You have a good day. No. You have a good life, young man.
I'll try.
I was actually thinking during the confrontation with Declan, Oh man, Hugh, I was
Looks
so...
like I'm not the only one who's come to visit Anna. I'm so glad she's finally out of the hospital.
Okay. I was not sure where we were, but yes, Anna's out of the hospital. During the confrontation with Declan, I was sitting there thinking, man, I was so suspicious of Hugh. I really thought that Hugh was going to be involved in all this. And then as soon as he walked up, I was like, that's the involvement. It's a drug ring. He's a pharmacist. He is Declan's supplier. Declan is pushing drugs out to the
Sam,
poor underclass.
hold your horses. Anna's busy with the sheriff. You should probably give him a moment or two.
Sure, Joe. How you been?
How have I been? Son, I appreciate you being here for Anna, but it don't change what happened. My girl's hurt, real bad. And things could have been even worse without you. You did good.
See? Told you promising him you'd keep his daughter safe was a good idea. Who knows, it might have even given you the extra boost you needed against Declan. But you did do good. Well done, champ. Anna did good too. I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for her.
Well, that makes two of us. You know, Anna told me how things went down up there. Said you getting inside Declan's head saved her skin.
I just talked. Said anything, and everything, and whatever. It worked out.
She said as much. Well, whatever you did, it worked. I'm glad you were there. I know you're really here for my daughter. And today, you're not the only one. Lots of good people have come around to see how she's doing. Don't you be a stranger, Sam. Not a lot of people with a good handshake left.
Oh, she picked up her her plane. Wasn't there like a little plane on the stump there?
Where are they? Where are Dad's notebooks? The yellow legal pad ones?
You can get them later. You need to say hello to the guests who just arrived.
The yellow ones were Dad's favorites. I wanted to start using
Joan?
them. They've got to be here somewhere. Just
Joan
give me
Waldron.
a minute.
Don't make me say it again.
Fine. I guess it doesn't really matter. Careful, Muley. She's in one of her moods.
It still sounds to me like she says Neely.
I'm sorry you had to see that. It was hard before, but now she's completely shut me out.
She's still trying to make sense of all that's happened. She's been through a lot. Maybe Basswood just isn't the right place for her anymore.
You don't understand. It's not that easy to leave.
Kathy, I'm not here to judge. I just want to help.
I know. Sorry. I've just been dealing with so much lately. You've always managed to get Joan to talk to you. Any advice?
Now, Sam, we need to be really careful about this. Kathy's already on edge. Joan noticed her mom is overdoing the painkillers, but we can't just kick the door down and confront her directly. Kathy, Joan is distant because she feels you haven't been yourself lately. She told me at times it's like you don't see her.
It's nothing against her. I've just been working myself ragged, and I hurt my back, and...
She said it wasn't just that. She's noticed the pills.
Oh,
It's the only way I can deal with my back, and it helps with other things.
Look, I can't imagine how hard it is to raise a child by yourself. But I don't want to see Joan grow apart from the last parent she has.
Oh, God. I didn't realize it got that bad. You're right. I need to get help. Sam, could I count on you to help look after Joan every now and then? She needs the people she loves close to her right now.
So, are we sticking around Basswood? It kind of feels that way.
I'd love to. I get along better with her than most adults.
I thought I could do this alone.
I'm here to help in any way I can.
Thank you. And if you ever need something, know your family. I should really say hi to the other guests. Take care.
The sideways cross on her necklace has always seemed unusual to me. Oh, okay. We don't get to go inside. So Joe's talking to Kathy. So go around side. Oh, maybe we can talk to Joan directly.
Hey, Bug.
Hey, Muley.
This one is all you. I never could get a read on her. How are you holding up?
Fine, I guess. Well, at least that's what most people want me to say when they ask.
Come on, Bug. I want to know how you feel. How you really feel.
I guess better today than yesterday? Maybe. I still miss Dad. But finding out what happened to him, I don't know, makes me feel a bit better.
It'll keep feeling better with time. Even if it's hard, you have to keep one thing in mind. You're not alone. And your mom will always be there for you, no matter what.
What about you? Are you staying this time?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh.
But I promised your mom I'd help keep you out of her hair.
You did?
Yeah, I was going to say, you kind of just made a commitment about that.
Of course. I figured you might be happy to have me around every now and then.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Every now and then. So we'll get to hang out again? Like in maybe board games at the coffee shop? Just like old times?
Anytime you want.
You're the best, Muley.
I'm all right. Listen, I need to find Anna now. I'll see you around, okay?
The sooner the better.
I hadn't been thinking much about Joan when we were making the decision about whether or not to come out of the Mind Palace, but that, like, triple makes me glad about the decision that we made, because Sam has always had a good relationship with Joan, and she's always had a good relationship with him. Like, they sort of get each other in a way that the others, like, in town don't. And for him to sever that connection so that he can go live in his mind palace would have felt like a real betrayal.
So much stuff. Anna won't have to buy food for weeks. I probably should have brought her something to eat, too.
She won't have to buy food for weeks unless you leave all that out here in the sun. In which case, she'll have to buy some later this afternoon.
Walter.
Samuel, my boy. As I live and breathe. I kept meaning to call, but phones are so impersonal. How are you holding up?
I'm just happy Anna's coming home. Things could have been much worse.
It always can be. It always can be. You went through something terrible, but I'm glad you came out the other end. I've had a brush myself with the Maker here and there, and I would never call them fun. Not fun at all. Life-affirming, though, definitely. Even for those close to you, it leaves a mark. Now, 2 members of my family of heart are gone. One is wounded. It might be time for me to finally hang up my saddle. The Basswood Jungle has printed its last pages.
What? Well, hold on.
Come on, Walter. What would Basswood be without the jungle? My first week in the bullpen, you said to me, "The pen is not a sword, but a shield." You take this town's shield away?
Using my own words against me. Believe me, I wish there were another way. But I lost my flame, and there's no one to pick up the torch. Except...
He's gonna offer you to be editor-in-chief. He never liked you leaving in the first place, though he is missing the obvious. Anna. She's connected to this place in a way that you aren't. She'd be the right choice. If You're not interested in the position yourself, that is.
You. I see no one more up to the task. You've proven time and time again you're the quintessence of a journalist. I should have told you a long time ago.
Walter's like a super weird guy, but I also like him. Anna would be a better choice. And here's why. First of all, Sam, up until like 3 minutes ago, was uncertain if he was even going to stay in Basswood. And he sort of, in my headcanon, is that he sort of realized in talking with Kathy that he was instinctively thinking about hanging around and helping her out with Joan, such that it was like, oh, I guess I've decided to stay, and didn't even realize it. Like, that's my headcanon for it. Nonetheless, he wasn't even, like, sure of that, so now to take on such a massive responsibility in a place that he's only just recently decided to walk back to, and Anna is a journalist. Anna has... Think about what happened when we went to the, to the commune. It's not a commune, the rehab tent city that was on that woman's land. Everybody there knew Anna. They didn't have a problem with Anna, they had a problem with Sam. Anna has close community connections, and although that makes her a good reporter, I think it would make her an excellent editor-in-chief. She's going to know where to go, who to talk to, she's going to be able to get doors open. Anna would be the better choice.
Thank you, but no. This town and I have too much history.
Quite right, quite right. It was a silly idea.
What about Anna? I can't think of anyone who cares more about Basswood.
Anna? She's always been a bit of a freelancer. I hadn't considered it. Though now I feel like a real tomfool. Do you think she'd take it?
We won't know until you ask her.
Wonderful. But Samuel, make sure this isn't goodbye. And next time I send you a text...
I'll answer it, Walter. I promise.
If I can give you a small piece of advice, a good life is one where you keep your friends close to your heart.
Like, what would you describe Walter as? I'm kind of like eccentric, but that doesn't feel quite right. He's not quirky. He's definitely got his own vibe. And when I first met Walter, I found him kind of off-putting. Like, well, I mean, we'll have some time to talk about it, I think, but...
And you make sure to push yourself. Get some fresh air. Don't let these doctors keep you cooped up for too long now. Oh, Sam, you're finally here. I was looking for you. Now, I know you've been through hell and back. I know that. If there's anything the Basswood Police Department can do for you, or even just little old me, you give me a holler, all right? For now, well, I got some good news for you for once. We found Declan's fingerprints on Dennis's gun. And since your testimony and Anna's corroborate Dickie's statement, no charges are going to be filed against you or Anna. It's clear self-defense. Still hard to believe a man I trusted was running a drug ring. Here.
She's worried about her re-election chances as sheriff. She's playing cleanup for the whole police force right now. Before you answer, just remember, it's always nice to have a police chief as a friend. I understand, Bess, but I'm worried. Everyone in town is, I think. Someone is going to need to find out how this happened. Hopefully you, Bess.
One of my best officers turns drug dealer. You just don't see it coming.
The best rarely burn out first, but when they do, everything burns with them.
Sounds like you might be speaking from experience. You're a real bird dog, huh?
Some dogs lie, some dogs hunt. Officer.
Bess, hon. I've known you too long for you to call me anything else. Well, I'd love to stay, but I'm afraid duty calls. Look after yourself, Sam.
I wonder if there's any version of events where you spend more time with Bess. I feel like she's had, of everybody here at the party, maybe Kathy. No, I want to say that even Kathy and Joe had more lines of dialogue than Bess did.
So, I wasn't sure you'd show up at all.
Yeah, I meant to get here before you, but I had to stop by the cemetery on the way. Finally paid Nick a visit.
Still doesn't feel like he's gone, right? I was still thinking he'd come greet me when I opened the door, you know?
Give her the photo. Why would I not give her the photo? The one that he... I remember him taking it. I'm trying to remember where he found it. Why would I not give her the photo?
He's not coming back anymore. But we have to remember him for all those little moments we shared with him.
Oh, wow. I almost forgot about that one.
Walter took it, right? Around the time you first worked for the jungle?
I won't forget he's not coming back, but I am thankful I met him. And you.
You feeling okay?
Is it crazy to say it feels like the longest day of my life is finally over?
Same here. It didn't feel like it would end. But at least I had you with me.
Lucky for you, or you would have been the one getting shot.
Sorry.
What about you? How are you compacting everything?
Oh, you know, screaming inside my head so loudly I can't really think.
Oh, me too. Or not thinking anything for a really long time.
Yeah, lots of that too. Lots of looking at nothing really hard for a long time.
At least it's over. Whatever was on Nick's laptop is gone forever. But so are the bad guys. The scales are balanced.
Wait, did we not get the USB key back? I know it fell over the cliff with Declan because he would have had it on him, but they recovered the body. Did he fall on top of it and break it or something? Scales aren't balanced. There might have been more.
Nick was a good journalist. There might have been some things on there.
Okay, like...
Want to tell me what you're doing here? Talk about the little details that don't add up and don't really matter? You better not be taking my happy ending away from us. It's just that... Okay, so I talked to Walter. How would you like to be the next editor-in-chief of the Basswood Jungle?
What? Are you kidding?
I'm not. He's about to retire. I promised I'd talk you into it if you tried to turn it down.
I don't even know if I'd want it.
I'll tell Walter you said no. We're gonna go with A.
I still remember our old conversations. There's no way you don't want it.
Maybe. You're right. Ah, this is crazy. Okay, if I'm doing this, I might need help. What about you? Are you leaving town again?
I plan to stick around, at least for a little while. Maybe for a long while.
That's good. I'm gonna need writers.
I'll be here. Someone has to make sure this place doesn't burn down.
Sam Higgs, Basswood Protector.
Sounds a lot better than Destroyer.
I am gonna need business cards.
No one uses business cards anymore.
It's the 21st century, Higgs. What's old is new again. And think about what Walter would want.
Well, business cards it is then.
Okay, so unless the music... Oh, and then immediately the music kicks up. Hopefully I'm going to be fully audible. If we feel like the music kicks up a bunch, then I might try to alt-tab out. I always want to try to avoid doing that because it can sometimes skip the credits or mute the music altogether, which is not what I'm looking for. Okay, wow. So let's cover some of the surface level stuff that comes to mind immediately. Number one, I thought the game looked really good. The Don't Nod games that I'm most familiar with are the Life is Strange games and then the, like, Vampire. I never played Remember Me, at least as of this recording. So those are the Don't Nod games that I have most in mind when I think of their art style, and this one had a much more hyper-realistic look to it, more so even than Vampire. And this one also had like I felt like a wider variety of locations. Vampire was not, well, let's not get into Vampire. This had a much, much higher art budget, and without knowing for sure, it felt like its own engine, like a different engine than what I've seen them use elsewhere. If it's the same engine, wow, good on them. I really liked the way that this game looked. There was a few moments, especially on camera cuts, that you might get like a sudden animation pop, but that's minor, you know, that's fine. So I thought this game really looked nice. I thought that the depth of field was very well done. I love the characters. I really, really like the fact that the characters changed outfits from time to time. I like the fact that when they were younger, they looked visibly different. Sam, for example, has less scruff. He's more clean shaven. His hair looks a little bit different. Anna's hair is completely different, and she's wearing completely different things. It wouldn't surprise me if there was maybe a version of this where the characters did change outfits a little bit more frequently. As Anna did there in the final scene, she wasn't wearing her like bright yellow clothing, but had on something that looked maybe a little bit more comfortable as she recovered from her injury. Maybe that was like a nod to realism, and it's just very expensive to redress characters because you basically have to redo the whole character model around a new outfit, and then how's it styled and how's it textured. So, you know, we saw a lot of Anna wearing her orange yellow outfit, but that's fine because when it was in the past, she looked very different, and I thought that was a really nice touch. I was consistently distracted by one of the earliest flashbacks that we got where, like, Joan was not using younger Joan. That's just strange. I don't want to harp on it. It's just they had a younger Joan model rigged up, animation ready to go, and just didn't use it in that scene, which took place, unless I misunderstood the situation, before Sam left Basswood, which was 3 years ago. But that's from a technical standpoint. The environments look great, and the lighting looked really good. I love the color palette in this game. I thought that the texturing was often really good. There's certain things like Bess's radio that look maybe a little bit flatter than they should, but those are minor details that stand out only because they are not as well detailed as other things, like the grass in the meadow, or the way the sun is sort of like splashing off of you know, the gazebo and stuff like that. So the game just looks really good, and every time we went to a new environment, it was just pleasant to look around. I like the fact that there were characters that we met that didn't then have anything to do with the plot. For example, we had a character card for the assistant at the cafe, Nicole or whatever her name was, and I thought, oh wow, maybe this will come back around. No, never did. And that's awesome, because when you're investigating a mystery, you don't know who will and won't be pertinent to the goings-on. Glasses represented a real curiosity. Like you heard at one point in an earlier episode, I was thinking, what if the person that we see as Sam is the fictional character, the imaginary friend, the partition personality, and actual Sam is this guy in the glasses? Everybody else is seeing Glasses while we're seeing Sam, and the person that we see as Sam is like Glasses' own mental image. Okay, so none of that was true. It's just that Glasses is an imaginary friend that Sam appears to have invented at an early age, who helps him process and talk through social situations specifically. Sometimes Glasses is a a mouthpiece for Sam's anxiety. Glasses can start spiraling, as he was doing in the car, talking about all of these. He was catastrophizing. You're gonna go up there and it's gonna, you'll just disappear. They'll put a bullet in your head and no one will ever find your body and they'll all think that you abandoned them. But other times, oftentimes, I would say, more often than not, Glasses was, even when he wasn't right, he represented Sam's consideration of how to navigate this social experience. And it's interesting to see what I might characterize as social anxiety depicted that way, that Sam interacting with people doesn't come naturally to Sam. He's very detail-oriented. He's very fact-focused. He wants to... Oh, wow, Quantic Dream did some work on this as well. He's very truth-driven, but where it comes natural to him to, like, put together pieces of a puzzle and want to figure out what's happening. Like, remember, Glasses never consulted with Sam when he went to the crash site to figure out what had happened there. Glasses didn't come out and talk to him about that. Sam did that on his own. He did it in his mind palace, but that was all Sam. Glasses spoke up when Sam was having difficulty interrelating with someone, and that's really interesting in terms of like a character dynamic, and it wasn't something that I picked up on until this episode, where Glasses was sort of an enigma that I was trying to figure out, and as this episode specifically went on, it is made clear he is Sam's desire and inability and effort to interact with people and connect with them on a personal basis. I don't know that I've seen a game that's even attempted a story like this. I don't know if it was well done or not. It would be interesting to see. I knew nothing coming into this game except Don't Nod and narrative game. So I don't not know if there's writing or like discourse out there about how this game handles. I don't think it's accurate to call it mental illness. I think I was talking about that earlier, but with the whole picture, I feel like social anxiety is a closer descriptor of what this game is talking about. I think that Sam probably experiences panic. So here's what we know. He experiences panic attacks. He is prone to catastrophizing when things are going wrong and he feels like things are outside of his control. One of the earliest things that he expressed on our screen was, if only the real world could be as ordered as the inside of my own mind. And then we see how disordered it can get. But Sam had clearly worked hard to structure his mind space in a way that he found calming and ordered and able to parse. And the chaos of the outside world, we couldn't control things, that made him uncomfortable. And it feels like maybe where Twin Mirror is outwardly the story of a drug ring. By the way, we never got... if Hugh wasn't Declan's supplier... I don't know why I suspect that guy so much. I can't get away from the fact that Hugh is very suspicious somehow. Well, the crime story and the mystery and Sam coming home to investigate the death of his friend, while that is outwardly the plot of Twin Mirror, I think it's actually the story of Sam fully committing, at least in our version, to connecting with people is worthwhile. And even if it doesn't come as easily to me as some of my other talent set, it's important to form those connections, because that's what makes discovering the truth worthwhile. It's what fuels and motivates the quest for truth and grounds you in spending your energy and your time on things that matter to other people. And when that choice came up, boy, I really thought about it. What you heard, that sort of talking through of it, was I was thinking back, what do we know about Sam? What can we discern about how Sam feels about things? And what decision do I think is most reflective of the Sam that we've come to know? And it would be really interesting to see who else might have arrived at that point and said, no, Sam is happiest on his own. Trying to connect with people is something that has brought him a lot of pain, and it's time that he embrace himself for who he is, and that is somebody who is happiest focused on his own stuff. And the specific reason, the point at which I talked myself out of that viewpoint was when I thought about how Sam described the last 3 years to Walter, that all the days blurred together. You heard all of that. If I hadn't made that statement to Walter, if we hadn't been privy to that specific point of dialogue and I'd said something else to Walter, back in episode 1, mind you, I may not have made the choice that I did, because there's a lot of other signs that Sam, elsewhere in the story, you might feel that Sam really does flourish on his own. Why can't the whole world be as ordered as the inside of my own mind? It's okay to be an introvert. It's okay to want to connect with people, but not feel that you're doing it as well as you'd like. And Sam is an interesting and complicated character, and sometimes it's interesting to think about, like, how did this story come together? Was Twin Mirror originally a murder mystery that they decided to add a character to, or did somebody on the writers' team first come up with the idea of Sam, someone who's introverted, who has difficulty connecting with other people, but is forced to do so because his best friend got killed and is going home to his old hometown where all of this bad stuff happened? And how is he going to process that emotionally, intellectually, logically? How is he going to deal with all of that? And I feel like it's that second thing. I feel like the story of Sam as a character, the concept of Sam as a character might have been the launching point from which they said, how do we put this character into a stressful situation where he gets to leverage all of his logical talents and some of his emotional connections are really put to the test, and have him come to a reckoning on who he wants to be moving forward. That's my theory on how the game, I could be completely wrong, but Sam's journey, his internal journey as a character, feels so front and center that I wouldn't call it the B plot happening alongside the murder mystery. It feels like these are two co-equal branches of the plot. And that's what I have to say about it. I do have to say that the voice actor for Nick, I thought that a lot of the voice acting was very good. Walter took some time to grow on me, but as you heard in this episode, Walter, it's like I said, he's kind of a weird dude. And I feel like the voice actor brought that to him, and some of his mannerisms, like he'd sometimes repeat himself or underscore something that he said, like, you must come out for a drink. You simply must. And like he sort of had that thing going for him. And so his voice actor grew on me over time as I felt like I got a clearer sense of who Walter was. Glasses, Sam, Glasses, Bug, Anna, Karen, it was Karen, wasn't it? Hugh, Declan, these characters like I just felt very at home with. Sam, specifically, I feel like I've heard his voice before. After this recording is done, I want to go see what else this actor has been in. I feel like I've heard him in things before, and I feel like he might have been very deliberately playing Sam in an extremely even-keeled manner, where Sam would be subjected to stressful situations, even in scenes where he would be like fleeing inside of his own mind, trying to escape the menace that was tracking down behind him. Sam always had, his voice never betrayed very much emotion. And I think that was an intentional choice. I don't think that's a failure at all by the voice actor. My sense is that was deliberate because Sam has worked very hard, maybe his whole life, but certainly in the last 3 years, to balance out the emotion that he feels with those that he is confident showing to others. And even in that proposal scene with Anna, the one that we got the flashback to, his voice doesn't betray. Whoops, hold on. That's what happens when I'm talking. His voice doesn't betray how hurt that must be. And he even has this super flippant line about, oh, come on, Anna, say something. The silence is really like weirding me out, or whatever he says. And I think I even said, Sam, good Christ, like, read the room, buddy. Yeah, Sam was really interesting, and the voice performance for him was interesting. There were times when he felt a little bit disconnected from what all was happening, like emotionally, but I do feel like that was an intentional choice, and maybe like how the direction was given. I will say the voice actor for Nick did not feel like it matched the character. We only ever meet Nick in flashbacks, and nothing newer than 3 years old, which was the last time that Sam saw him, interacted with him. And Nick's voice actor just came across as barrel-chested gruff guy, I guess. I really... It's interesting that at the end of this, I have a better sense of who Declan was than who Nick was. We hear a lot about Nick, but it's interesting that there's so few flashbacks that deal with him. We see how Joan, the last episode, I'm still calling her June. We saw how Joan felt about him. He and Kathy had broken up. Anna cared for him very deeply, but then there was that sort of curious line about his stuff is all over my house. I just want to be clear. It is literally Anna's house. It's just, again, maybe this is just the way that I think about it. This could be a regional difference for all I know, but I sort of feel like when somebody moves in, it kind of quickly becomes our house. If they were to split apart, Nick's out on his ass, make no mistake. Like Anna is the one, like we even see the scene where Anna has bought the place and then Sam was going to move in afterwards. So it's very much Anna's place. It's just in that moment where Nick's loss is still so recent, to simply call it my place, that is like one point where I felt like the writing was either a little bit ham-handed to say, like, maybe they just wanted to clarify that, like, yeah, this is Anna's place, like Sam's name wasn't on the deed, Nick's name wasn't on the deed, but I felt comfortable with that when we saw her buying the place, frankly. So yeah, I feel like right there it should have been our place, but this is not a major complaint. It was just one line of dialogue that stuck out at me as being a little bit clumsy. And then Nick's voice actor, it didn't give us very much, did it? I don't want to talk a lot about other games, but there's been other games with characters who had as few lines and even less, even fewer lines than this, but you still got so much of a sense of who they were based on what the voice actor brought to the role, and I don't feel like Nick was an example of that. Is there anything else I want to say about it? I really liked exploring downtown Basswood. It gave us beyond just hanging out in the bar, which was its own like little mini place, wandering around downtown Basswood during the daytime, going into the cafe, going into there was one other store, the drugstore, and then like when we got to go across the street to where the newspaper was, I really liked that. It made the town feel a lot more like an actual place. Actually the scene that we're seeing there, up to including, I don't know if we can just nudge the camera a little bit, but that shut down building there on the left, just underneath, just behind where it says The Last Dime, that said something, communicated something about the economic depression that we've heard about, but here we get to walk around downtown and see it. That was a super nice touch. And I just love the cafe. I would have eaten that cafe every single day. I think that's everything that I have to say about Twin Mirror. On the whole, I would not say that this is as good as some of the other Don't Nod games that I've played, but I did enjoy it a lot. Like, Don't Nod Entertainment for me sets a very high bar for narrative stories, and when I say that this is not as impactful to me as Life is Strange, for example, well, I mean, what could be? Like, that's you know, Life is Strange is one of the most impactful games that I've ever played. I didn't come into Twin Mirror believing that it would meet that level of excellence, and indeed it did not. But that's not a slam against the game. It's just a recognition of this game had a different focus and a different purpose, and it was very much this person's journey between who they've been and who they want to be and who they feel that they can be, combined up with this murder mystery that, to be honest, with a name like Twin Mirror and the setting that this was, it wasn't Pacific Northwest, which I kept thinking that it was, but it's very, like, visually similar. It's representative of the Pacific Northwest, with all the pine forest, the heavily wooded areas, the rivers and stuff. It feels like it could have been Pacific Northwest, and with a name like Twin Mirror, it might immediately bring to mind something like Twin Peaks, especially with the murder mystery aspect of it. But the characters were not as quirky and distracting and irritating as they were in Twin Peaks to me. I know that a lot of people like that, and good on you. I came to Twin Peaks. I came to a very different place than that with Twin Peaks. So it's interesting to me that, especially given the affection that at least some writers developers at Don't Not have for Twin Peaks. There's numerous Twin Peaks references in Life is Strange, for example. For all of that, they don't lean into that at all. We get a murder mystery that just completely feels like its own thing. And if you were to say that maybe some of the internal stuff might be reminiscent of, like, the investigative work in Twin Peaks, I suppose so. Like with the you know, liminal internal mind palaces, but I don't know. I feel like this game was very much doing its own thing, and even if it was inspired to be a murder mystery set in a, you know, coniferous forest here, I think that that's almost all that it has going for it in terms of, like, being similar to Twin Peaks. I feel like they wound up doing their own thing, and I'm all here for it. I liked it a lot. I will say, I cannot envision that there would ever be a sequel to this. I feel like the story that we got is very good. If they did a sequel, I'd certainly play it. But I would love to see, like, if they were to do a Twin Mirror 2, it's the sort of thing where I might want to see a different mystery with different characters in a different environment that is maybe similar structurally, but otherwise, you know, lets this story be its own thing and then it goes and does something else, so that Twin Mirror became more an anthology of mystery stories and less about the story of Sam Higgs. I feel like Sam arrived in a really good place here, and let's have space for more characters. Anyway, that's going to do it. That's everything that I have to say at the moment about Twin Mirror. I assure you that 15 minutes after I stop this recording, I will think of 50 other things that I had wanted to say and failed to. But I guess there is one last thing that I started to feel. So there was an earlier scene in a previous episode where I kept choosing listen to Anna, don't listen to glasses, listen to Anna. And Sam was becoming increasingly distracted and, like, was developing, like, tics, basically, like nonverbal tics, where even though he was trying to focus on Anna, he couldn't, and that was just putting him more on edge. So in this last episode, there was one point where I chose to listen to glasses, even though he was catastrophizing. I started to feel like if we don't indulge in glasses, if we don't allow that, if we keep suppressing that and sort of trying to compact that part of Sam down into a little tiny ball at the pit of his stomach, it's just going to explode. Like, he needs to have that emotional release, even if it's just happening in the back of his mind so that he can't listen to Anna. Maybe that's the better choice, and then everything else happens. So I just want to talk a little bit about that. I would have preferred to listen to Anna because, after all, she is the actual person in the car. Sam can sort of, like, indulge in his imaginary friend anytime, but that's why I made that choice, because it didn't feel like it was healthy. And that's it. That is everything that I have to say about Twin Mirror. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this 6-episode playthrough of the Don't Not adventure game, or narrative game, Twin Mirror. Once again, as we said at the very beginning, these episodes are being pre-recorded so that in the event that there is a stretch of time that I cannot do live streams, we can at least have some some sort of new content that's going up on the channel, and whether or not you decided to watch these as they were released or waited for all of them and then binged it, hopefully at a minimum we were good company as you were sort of like playing another game or getting through your workday or something else, and maybe we were entertaining along with the story and we had a good time. Videos like this are put together because we have so many wonderful subscribers who have invested always in the next 30 days of content, and we want to make sure that there's always something on the channel. Not everybody wants to engage with pre-recorded content, and that is okay, but we're just sort of trying to plan ahead so that on the day that we can't be with you live, we do have something to put up. And maybe we'll just publish this separately when there's no real crisis, and then you can watch it at your leisure, and maybe we can connect on it sometime down the road. We will see you down the road, as maybe we'll see Sam Higgs and other Don't Nod adventures. But until then, you guys, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you have a great day.